Hi, I'm Tina Sorensen with True Solutions, and today we are going to be talking a little bit about Facebook for businesses. I have two very special, distinguished guests with me today, my mom and dad. They fall into the boomer category, so we're going to have to use that phrase a few times because that's trending very nicely. And it's interesting because the total number of active users on Facebook right now is 2.41 billion. Only about 10% of those are in US and Canada. Still a very large number of people on Facebook, and 62% of online seniors age 65 plus are on Facebook, and 72% of those are between the ages of 50 and 64. So right here, we have the demographic. We have a great little slice of the pie to ask a few questions about how you guys interact on Facebook. Another fun little stat that I have is that 83% of parents on Facebook are friends with their children.
Yes.
So I'm so glad you accepted my friend request because it's actually interesting to me. You guys, for the longest time, had more friends on Facebook than I did, my demographic. In fact, Dad, you have over 2,100 Facebook friends.
I don't have many real friends, but I do have a lot of Facebook friends.
A lot of fake friends.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Hey, if you got to buy them, that's fine too.
That's right.
And Mom, you have like 763.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then if we look at the demographic where Trenton is at, my son, who's 18, he's not even on Facebook. And his age range, or the people in his generation, only about 50% are on Facebook.
Right.
All of 90% of them, though, are on Snapchat.
Wow.
So just kind of helping understand who it is that is on Facebook and what businesses probably should be doing and how they should be interacting with people. So how often do you guys go on Facebook?
I probably check into Facebook once a day.
Okay.
When I'm at home, I probably 3 or 4 times or more a day,
Okay.
but at work, not as often.
Because they're paying you, so you
yeah,
feel bad
yeah.
about that?
No,
Yeah.
actually, there are some Facebook things I do at work on Facebook.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. And you do things for work as well on
Yes.
Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you interact with people most of the time on Facebook?
I actually just as soon don't interact with people because I get a lot of sort of the messenger stuff, and it's mostly hi, how are you doing, from people I don't really know that well. So I don't interact with people in that kind of way. I mean, I do sometimes see other people's posts and sort of see what they're saying or see what's going on. Pictures catch my attention sometimes, and so I kind of follow people in some fashion or another. That's probably my primary interaction.
And I like a lot of things. If somebody sends a cute picture of their grandchild or something, I'll like it, or make some little comment. Oh, what a cutie! So just usually pretty quick, short comments. Yeah.
Okay. And how about on business or even on ads? How do you guys interact with businesses? Do you follow some business pages?
I do a couple, but I probably follow more nonprofit organization pages, and so I have friends involved with nonprofits or some connection there, and probably have 50 pages, nonprofit pages, and maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5, business pages.
How about like community pages or groups, maybe?
Yeah, and I guess I'd put those sort of in the nonprofit category.
Sure.
Yeah, those kinds of pages I do pay attention to.
And what type of businesses do you connect with?
Well, education. I'm in education, and specifically early childhood education, and there are a lot of Facebook groups and things there and some of them are local, some of them are national organizations that I'm on, and as far as groups, I have a family group too that I'm that I spend a lot of time on, checking on my siblings and their kids and stuff.
So what type of businesses do you guys follow? Business pages. Do you have any that come to mind?
Probably the kind of business pages I follow are the ones where I know somebody, so there's a personal connection first, and maybe a lot of times they've asked me to follow their page, and I do. So it usually begins with a personal connection rather than just sort of a random business page.
Sure.
And for me, it's mostly, again, there's a local early Head Start group that I interact with. Most of the time for work things, I look at what they're doing and I don't respond a lot, but I do sometimes. And then again, international or national organization, early Head Start, those types of things. I try to keep up with those, but I don't. I don't respond a lot. I just see what they're doing.
Sure. I mean, you both like my business page.
You've done
do.
that.
Oh,
That's true.
So,
Whoa,
we were set up for that.
busted.
So
Busted.
Yeah.
busted.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I do see that, and like Reed, I often I like business pages of people who I know, and then I do check up on those now and then.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the interesting fact with business pages is that only about 2% of their followers will see a post. Just because of the algorithm,
Right.
So it is hard to sometimes keep up with business pages just because you might not hardly ever see any of their posts, even if they're posting daily.
Right.
So,
Sometimes that's why I press like, so they know that I saw their page.
like,
Yes.
I love it. Do you notice ads or some branding, even kind of the sneakier ads where you're like, oh, that's a promotion?
Yeah. In fact, sometimes those ads kind of freak me out a little bit because you click on one and all of a sudden you start getting a bunch more of those or things similar to it. And so, yeah, I notice it. And part of that even just sort of fascinates me to know, what hamsters are behind the scenes, manipulating data because, the same ones keep popping up again.
Yes, those retargeting ads are
Yes.
pretty good. Have you guys ever purchased anything from Facebook?
I have. I've purchased things for my hobbies, my craft hobbies. I've purchased shoes, and I can't think of anything. Are you thinking of something I've
No.
purchased?
Oh, no.
I've purchased shoes, and
I mean, you don't want to spoil my Christmas gift or anything,
Oh.
so don't be careful.
No, I won't. And that's true. I've purchased quite a few gifts. Well, sometimes on Facebook, sometimes it's
So
on other.
products and stuff that
Oh, yeah,
you
yes.
see it and
Definitely. Mhm.
like and purchase.
Yes.
And I've purchased a few things. I don't think very much. But I think it has sometimes caused me to go and check out some other things because I see an ad there and I think, I wonder who else is doing something like that. And, so it prompts me to search, Google something.
Sure. What about like services or, now they have like recommendations, so if you are looking for maybe a service provider in an area, you can ask and see what people kind of throw out there. Have you ever done anything like that? Ask for recommendations or even just looked for maybe a service on Facebook?
I don't think I've actively looked for something like that. I think some things have popped up and I was thinking, oh yeah, I probably should check that out. So it is, it really was more because the ad popped up than because I was really searching for it.
I think that's the case with me too. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think would be the most effective way for a business to get in front of you on Facebook and perhaps even get your business?
So I think one of the things that I find myself doing pretty frequently is I may not start the search on Facebook, but if there is a company that I'm interested in, I will check their Facebook page just to see what they're doing, what's going on. We had a plumber and an HVAC person, and I went on their Facebook pages just to see if it looked like it was current, if they were doing something, what they were posting, just to get a better picture of who they were. your
That's
company.
that's really interesting to me for the verification process. I always thought that would be a little bit better on or more utilized on Google. Did you do that as well? Or did you just go to Facebook to validate them?
I think I just went to Facebook to validate them.
Okay.
And I find myself, in past years, I would go to their website, to check them out and validate them. But I think I go to Facebook more often these days because it seems like there's more current information there. It's not a kind of a static page like websites sometimes are.
Yes. Awesome. Well, that's really cool. Did you look at the reviews and recommendations on Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, you'd see comments, and sometimes there'd be people actually recommending or responding to service that those companies provided. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really all the questions. Any other thoughts? Anything else that you can think of that would help businesses determine how and when to interact, how to position themselves, their products on Facebook to you guys,
Well,
to you
again,
boomers?
have a really good description of the product. Sometimes they'll say, oh, you can buy this, but it doesn't tell you really what you're getting. Other times you can go on to Facebook, click a product, and it tells you exactly. Here's an example. I just ordered some tea because I really like tea, and it told me exactly what was in it, if it was green tea, black tea, where it was from, India or China, and what flavors they put in it. And if you don't do that, I'm not going to buy it. I think, ooh.
Do you trust what they're saying is legit?
Usually. I can be pretty skeptical at times, but the more description they have, the more I trust them.
No. Okay.
If it's kind of vague, then I think, this can't be as good as it sounds. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, that sounds really good. That helps us out a lot to determine what demographic, what they're looking for, how that's functioning on Facebook. And if you have any questions about your business specifically and how to target the right people on Facebook, or whether that's even a platform that you should be putting time, effort, and money into, let me know. We can walk through all of that together. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
you bet.